Hi everyone, my name is Peyton, and in this video what I want to do is cover how to set up Vertex Painting inside of Unreal Engine 5. This is kind of a refresher, as Vertex Painting is not necessarily something new in Unreal Engine 5. It's been in the previous Unreal Engines, but at least for someone that might be getting into Unreal Engine for the first time and wanting to be more familiar at least with UE5's UI and how to set it up that way, I wanted to kind of run through and actually give this. So in here I have a material already set up. So this is my snow ground or whatever down here. And basically what I want to do is add the ability to paint between two different materials. That's nice because sometimes, you're not able to necessarily like apply two different materials to a surface, just with how, your mesh or geo might actually happen. So with this, you're able to really be able to customize and paint in the material or the shader that you're wanting to do. So I'm going to go ahead and actually open up my snow ground here. And you will see now that we have the material editor open, we have our material. So right now it just is pretty simple, has base color, the roughness, normal map, ambient occlusion, therefore. And then, I think it had a metallic too, but there's not really anything in there. But then over here, I just have the texture coordinates for the tiling amount. It's currently tiling times 10, and I like keeping it separate from the actual texture coordinate because you can put it in here. But if you multiply it instead, then you have a little parameter down here that you can control, custom, just specific to the snow. But with that, I actually want to bring in my my other material. So the other material I'm using is going to be the cobblestone, and I want to basically have a cobblestone underneath my snow that I can paint in and have the snow kind of merging with that. Starting off, what I want to do is I'm going to start and click here and going to bring in a vertex color. So we can see this little thing here. And basically what this is going to allow us to do is we're going to have 3 different channels. So we're going to have our red, green, and blue, and we'll be able to actually paint in the mesh paint mode using these channels specifically for like what we're wanting to do. So going over here now, what I want to do is I'm just going to set up a very simple thing. That way I can show you exactly what we're going to get from that. So I'm going to change this over to be, let's say, a red. And this is just a basic color. And then what I'm going to do is I want to show 2 different types of blending methods. The first one is going to be a linear interpolate or a Lerp. You can also just press L on your keyboard and click and it'll make it. But it is basically my blend type that I'm going to be using. So with this, I'm actually going to plug in my snow to the B, and then in the A, I'm going to be plugging in my red color, and then I'm going to plug this into the base color. Now you'll notice that right now, it's just going to be red because there's not actually anything culling that out. And so I want to plug this alpha into specifically the red channel. So now that I save this very simplistically, and I close this out, I can go up here to my mode and go over to mesh paint. So if I click on here and then go to paint itself down here under colors, we can see now that if I go all the way down, you'll find channels, and by default I believe all 3 are on. You'll want to make sure that only the red channel is on for this. And then now if you actually go over here to your scene and you start to paint with the let's see. So I want to select this ground here, and then I'm going to go to mesh paint, and then make sure I have the channels on. And now you can see that I have my brush. I can change the size over here. I can change the strength of it as well, and then the fall off. And there's a couple of other features as well. But simply, I'm just going to hold shift, and you'll see that I have the red being painted in. And so I actually like having it to where basically the underneath part, like my cobblestone where I'm wanting to kind of expose it, is in that A channel in my material, just because it's a little bit easier for the painting process to be like going that way at least. Now, if you did want to have it to where you don't have to hold shift to paint, if you go back here and switch paint, you can switch these paint colors here. And now you don't have to hold shift. You can just paint by default and it'll paint in that red part as well. But I'm going to, basically I'll actually leave a little bit here. That way we can see some of the updates as they kind of go along. And by default, we just have that. Now what I want to do is go back over to my snow ground, and I want to set up the rest of it. So the Lerp is nice because it's just blending between an A and a B, and you get the alpha. So it's very simplistic and all, but one that I like to use a little bit more is actually called the height Lerp. So if I type that in, you will get this one, and it's a little bit bigger and more intimidating just because it has a couple more features and all. But I like it because you are able to use the height texture and actually get some more interesting blends with it, and I'll show that in a second. So what I want to do is, it's got the same A and B. I can plug this in here and then plug this in here to the B, and then my results can go to the base color there, and then in the the transition phase, that's going to be where I actually want my vertex color to be plugged in from. So I'm going to do that, and you'll see that I have an error right now. The reason being is because it does require a height texture. It's not an optional thing with the height Lerp. You do need one. So I'll plug that in a second. But what I really want to do now is get rid of my Lerp, and I'm going to go over here, and I want to bring in my actual cobblestone that I have. So I'm going to drag that up a little bit, and let's just grab my base color, my ambient occlusion, normal, roughness, and height. I'll bring all of them in. So we'll probably only set up a couple of these for the purpose of the video because it's the same exact process. But I'm going to do the base color there. I'm going to bring in the normal map down bottom, and then let's see, that's the height that we'll definitely be using in a second. And then that's going to be our roughness. There we go. And then our ambient occlusion as well. So we have plenty of room on this graph. No need to have things bunched up. So I'll start to spread things apart, and I want to make sure that the cobblestone is going to be on the top, just so it's a little bit easier when we go to placing the nodes and all. But I can go ahead and drag in this to the A slot, and then I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste this down as well, and do the same thing for all of these, plug in that. And then of course the transition phase, remember again, is going to be that red channel. And then with the height texture, I do want to go ahead and actually plug in my height map. So the reason why I'm going to use the height map is because I actually want the height details to be influencing where the stuff is painting or not painting. And I want it to actually almost fill into some of the cracks before it lands on top of the cobblestones, if that makes sense. So what I want to do here though is, because I want it to be inverted, I'm going to do a 1-. So there we go. Then I'm going to plug that into the height texture location there and there. And then the one other thing that we are going to want to do, because right now the cobblestone, if I just hit save and show you what it looks like in here, hold on, drag the wrong one. So you'll see that it's pretty massive. It's not correct or anything. So I want to make sure that we do have our UV set up correctly. So I'm going to basically take another multiply out of here, and let's say we put this there, and then I'm going to plug this in and then do another one here, and I'm going to just do, let's say, the tiling amount to 20. A little bit extreme, but we'll plug that in to our base color, and this one is specific to the cobblestone. So this number here will adjust the tiling amount for the cobblestone, and then this number here will adjust the tiling amount for the snow. But there we go, plugging that in. I want to also make sure that I plug this into my normal map. And then the one other thing is, of course, we are using that cobblestone height to be the blend. I do want to make sure that the cobblestone height is also using the same tiling amount, because otherwise it's going to look really off. So now that we have that, that should be good to go with that. And of course, the roughness and the ambient occlusion would use the same exact like setups. So you would just have the height lerp plugged in with your cobblestone value going into your A, and then your like main texture, which is the snow, going into the B. The transition phase again is the vertex color data, and then the height is our cobblestone, what we're actually wanting it to be adjusted upon. The one thing that we have not added so far is the contrast. So I'm going to just hit 1 and put in a number here, and I can turn this into a parameter if I'd like later on. But right now I'm just going to maybe do a value of 5 just to see what we get, but I'll leave this there. So the stronger that number is, the more the contrast is going to be with that actual height texture. So there we go. We have a pretty good setup so far, and I can hit save and see what we have in the actual engine. So there we go. We are starting to get our cobblestone tiling. You'll notice that the cobblestone is actually blending where the snow is coming into the cracks first before actually going on top of the cobblestones. And that's what we did actually with that height map and everything that we've set up. So now if I go back over here and let's say, paint this out. So I'm gonna need to turn this up quite a bit. Can paint it out, and let's say I wanna make a pathway. Right now I'm just got a really strong strength, so it's going to be pretty solid. But if I say take this all the way there, and then what I can do now is that I have this kind of mapped out. I can come back with a really low value on the strength, and I can do the inverse where I paint in some of that and then maybe change the size as well. And you can see that I'm starting to really get a lot of variation. Maybe I bring up the strength levels a little bit more. And this will just take some tweaking and all, but you can see that it fills in to the cracks first, and then it basically rises as it's using that contrast. And so I'm gonna just do some more of this. There we go. And if the contrast is too strong, we can of course go back and adjust that as well. But right now I just kind of want a simple block in of what I'm somewhat imagining of it. So keep on painting here, get something down. Nothing too crazy. But it's really fun to be able to have this ability and control, because it's not like you're jumping back and forth between a modeling program or anything. You're just able to actually be in here and custom with your scene. Let's say we had a little village or so. I'm actually painting the specific snow and everything, or the cobblestone based off of how it kind of works with the environment. So that I think that's something really nice about the Vertex painting being an option, is just because it gives you a lot of hands-on control and creativity with your environments overall. So I can keep on. I could spend a lot of time on this really, but for that purpose I'm going to stop here. And then we can see, we're starting to get a decent look to it. I want to go back over here, and that contrast that I was talking about before, I'm going to right click and convert it to parameter, and then I'm going to name it, let's see, contrast. There we go, and hit save. So once that has been boosted, I'm just going to bring this over, and if I actually had an instance, a material instance, I could control it there as well. But I can also just control it here in the shader, so you can see that's really tweaking the contrast of the blend between the two. But there we go. Gives a pretty nice look. The snow's kind of building up. Maybe there's a little bit more diffusion where like some of the snow is like fading off or melting into the rock. So something like that could be pretty cool. But just simply, in that like time, we've been able to set up just a blend that we could really achieve. Now, if you wanted to additionally like have another layer where you painted on a third material, basically, you could just almost like pretty much like staircase it. So I could do a height lerp as well here, and then this would then go into my B value, and then I could do a red again, similar to what we started with at first. So I'll do that there, and then I can do, or let's say that we don't even want to use the height lerp because I don't have a height texture. I can blend between the lerp itself too. So I'm just gonna do one of these. And then if I want a third material being blended in, I'm going to use the green channel. And then a fourth one, I could use the blue channel. So each material would have its own channel that you're painting in. So I just took the green channel, plugged it into the alpha. The B version is whatever is coming previous to this. And then the red, which is our third material, it's kind of our stand-in for our third material, is going into our A. And then we can plug in here. So I'm just going to do that, the base color, nothing else, because that would be the same way you can kind of propagate it down to the rest of the material itself. But now if I go over here and go back to my mesh paint, and I'm going to go to paint now, like we had it before, I can paint with the red channel and get the cobblestone and that break up there. But now if I change the channel to the green channel, we should be seeing the red like we had. So I have to change the strength a little bit. But it's going to be on top of all of that. The normal map's not changing because I don't have a normal map in there for the third material. But if you did have that, then you would then be blending between three of them. So this is a pretty cool way to be able to blend between a bunch of materials, have them all on one ground. Now, of course, like if you're wondering, like you see all the little dots, this is Vertex Painting, so it matters how much vertices are on your mesh. So if you're doing a ground and you're wanting to paint on it, then you are going to want more vertices and more like basically edges running through your model and all. That way you have the ability to paint on there. If your model is too low or it doesn't have enough verts in the middle of it, then you're basically not going to be able to have smooth transitions and blends like this with what you're kind of limited with. So but with UV5, like you're able to definitely get a lot more geo in there. And so if you have ground planes that are kind of set up that way, you can do some really awesome, like basically vertex painting, kind of like what we're doing here so far. So yeah, that is about it for this video. It's just kind of a rehash of what the vertex painting process is inside of the engine with the new UI. Like I said, everything's pretty much the same as like Unreal Engine 4 or the previous versions. It's just that the UI is a little bit different. But if you're new to UE5 or just Unreal Engine in general, I really hope this helped you kind of understand how to set up vertex painting with your shaders and get them prepared for a scene. Yeah, that's about it for this one, and I'll see you next time.